partner, and actually business partner, Mavs Angeles. And what are we partnering on? What have we worked on for the last 6, 7 years? Real estate. That's Mav's passion, real estate. And I want to share 3 things that makes Mav special. And these are the same 3 things that's going to make you successful in real estate because it helped her stand out in her real estate practice. First of all, Mav is a real estate researcher. In other words, she really does her homework in terms of buying and selling properties, getting the market value of the property, and learning how to make the offer that will give the best result, whether her client is the buyer or whether her client is the seller. The second reason why Mavs is so special is because she's not only a research expert in real estate, she gets results in real estate. How do I know this? Because Mavs is very satisfied clients in both buying and selling real estate. I'm one of those clients. She has helped sell many of my properties to good clients that are faithful payers. She's done this with very little supervision. Hindi man ako nangulit sa kanya, and she gives me reports about what's going on with my properties. And thirdly, because Mavs is a good researcher in real estate and also a results expert in real estate, she puts these 2 things together to become a role model real estate agent, broker, and investor. In fact,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Real Estate Maven online channel where life, real estate, and economics made simple. I'm Mavs Angeles, and thank you for spending your precious time with us. Please do like and subscribe our channel in Facebook and in YouTube. Kindly also share to other people whom you think will benefit our today's topic. COVID-proof your income through real estate. So share it to people that you think they need to hear our message today. Okay? We hope that our channel be your online library for you to become the real estate maven of your family or the one in charge as we define it. Because we believe that together as a family, we can make things happen. So now, are you thinking how to protect your income, especially this time of crisis? No? Our speaker today will help us answer this question. She is the founder of Calatan Consultancy, an international speaker and coach. Please do welcome on screen, Wandalyn Talupig. Hi, Wanda.
Hello sis, hello Mavs, hello sa
Hello,
lahat ng nanonood.
and thank you for spending time with us. So, you're
Most
freshly
welcome.
from Dubai?
Dubai.
Dubai. Wow, thank you. So it's
Yes.
good morning, really good morning, no?
Good afternoon na din. It's 12:16 in the afternoon.
Yeah, so thank you. So, very quick sharing lang sis, no? Before we move forward to your very nice presentation for our viewers, no? You will be sharing with them 5 steps on how to COVID-proof their income. But prior to that, no, can you share with us your story about real estate acquisition that you made when you were still employed in a company? Yeah.
Actually, we don't own any well, my dad died when I was 9. So really it was not an easy life for the family. So for the past 24 years of my life, we are renting only an apartment. So it was really one of my dreams is to have really a home for the family. So that was my first dream. So I acquired the first property I have in 2000. I think that's 2014, because that is when I told my mom to totally shift and have our own house finally. So I took a loan with through Pag-ibig, and with the help of my previous company that time, it was Intel Philippines. So I took that loan to buy a house. So that was my first property. It was actually born out of pain, pain of renting for the past 20 plus years, and of a dream to own a house someday. So those are my two
So
big
when
dreams.
you were still employed, you get a loan from the bank and then bought your first house, tama?
Ako, it's mixed financing. It's both from Intel, kasi Intel that time, they have housing loan for staff, but that's not sufficient. So I also got the loan from Pag-ibig to partly finance it. So it's both ways.
So okay. So by that way, you were able to at least somehow um, save for or accumulate the overtime ang tawag nito, accumulate over time yung value ng property is increasing, di ba?
Yes, yes, somehow. Somehow and actually that property is now I sold it already, because we have acquired together with my husband a number of properties. So at some point we have to sell that, so we can actually make more use of the money through real estate, and which I will of course discuss more later, how we manage and flip, 'di ba? After managing the property, you need to understand real estate flipping also, so you can earn money from it.
All right, sige, exciting yan. So let's hear it. Let's hear it from Coach Wanda. So Coach Wanda, please do own the screen, no? And let's hear the 5 steps to COVID-proof your income. Thank you so much in advance. Ayan, so
Yes.
let's share your screen.
First, I would like to thank Sis Mals for inviting me. I would be happy to share with you what are the 5 steps to COVID-proof your income through real estate. I would like to first introduce myself. I'm Wandalyn Talupig, and I'm a wife and mom of 2 based in Dubai. I've been in Dubai for 14 plus years, and I'm an audit manager and certified public accountant, but I've turned into an international coach and speaker. I am also a certified international NLP master practitioner and a trainer by T. Harv Eker. My mission in life really is to help others become happier, but currently my focus is on helping professionals find a career that's meant for them. But this is another opportunity. I started, I think, of the many things I wanted to do in the beginning. It was real estate, which was the first of the many things I did. And I will be more than happy to share with you what are the 5 steps that help me really COVID-proof my income and in any situation. Okay, as a way of thanking you for watching today's live interview, I would like to give you one of my books. It's one of my books in Amazon. It's called Happiness Guide. These are the 13 simple and proven exercises that I personally use to bring more happiness to my life. And I hope it can help you today. Just send an email to caltantraining@gmail.com, and I would be more than happy to share with you a copy of my ebook. Moving on, the first question I always ask every person who listens to me, what do you want to learn today? I know you do watch a lot of webinars, you learn from a lot of books, but I always believe what Napoleon Hill said, that success starts with clarity of purpose. If you can at least be clear, at least one thing you want to learn from me today, then this is the best and most effective way for you to really learn. And sis Maps, if you do have any question in between, feel free to stop me also. I hope you wrote it down. Now I'm gonna move on because we're talking about 5 steps. 5 steps to really COVID-proof your income, not only through real estate, but in many other things. It's about clarity in your why. What worked for me, as I was sharing to Maps, I invested on the first real estate property that I have, that is buying our home, because we've been renting a house for 20 plus years, and it's a pain, that you just pay the money and that it just goes out, and it's never an investment. So my dream really when I started working is that someday I'm gonna buy a house so that really, I have a legacy that I will pass on also to my children. So you need to have that clarity in your why. If you want to really have a COVID proof or a pandemic proof income, you always need to be clear. Why do you want to do it? Is it for you? Is it your family? Is it for others? Because once you're clear with your why, then it's the how will be easier. So in that situation for me, when I started working, I was very clear. The first thing I want to invest into is property because I don't want to pay monthly rental anymore. So that clarity in my why of giving my family a house that we really own is the first thing that really helped me COVID proof and pandemic proof my income. And I hope you're just having a paper or a pen, or if you do have your cell phones with you, just write in your note. If you want to COVID proof your income now, what can you do? Why? Why do you want to do it? Because if your why is clear, then the how will be easier. So the next thing, you have to be committed to learn. Yes. I remember when I started to learn about, owning a property, it was a shock to me that I need to have so much money. That's why that time Intel was giving us a housing loan, but that housing loan from Intel is not sufficient. So I even have to take a housing loan from Pag-ibig also. Because see, maybe you have a dream, but to make it happen, you need to learn how to make it happen. And for me, I had to really learn on, okay, how do I fund that dream? What do I need to do also to make sure that that income from the real estate property will help us later in the end? Because after investing from the first property of our house, I also made it a commitment that when I do have extra money, then I try to keep it and buy other properties as well. So in the process of working for 20 plus years, I was able to acquire some properties in some subdivisions. I was able to acquire some farm properties also. I was able to acquire some property through bank financing. So through foreclosed properties. And it really comes with a commitment to learn. So I just don't buy property for the sake of buying. I remember I enrolled in a real estate course. I was so inspired by mobs and by other people. I even invested, I think I invested like 20,000 pesos to learn more about real estate. How can I earn an income out of it? How can I really make sure that, in the future, it's gonna help my family and my kids. And one of the things that really will help you to make the right decision and COVID proof your income in real estate is by learning from the right people. So personally for me, I was able to understand what makes a good real estate investment because they said it should be about 20 to 30% of 30% less of the market price. This is from my learning. I also learned that you need to look at the potential of the property. So thankfully, we're also able to buy an apartment which is in a very good location. So you really need to be committed to learn in order to succeed and protect your income in real estate. I'm moving on to step 3. If you do have questions, you can just type it in, and I hope Mavs can share with me those questions if you do have. But really, the first step is clarity in your why. Second is your commitment to learn. So third is about careful planning and study. So personally for me, I just don't buy property because I remember when I was already, the thing that brought me to Dubai actually is my intention of paying that housing loan, right away. Because when I was doing that calculation, I was thinking, I took that loan in 2014 and in Pag-ibig terms, it will take me 10 to 20 plus years before I complete the payment. And I was telling myself, I don't think I want to be, how I don't want to have a loan for that long. So I was telling at that time, I told myself, I want to have a higher income so I can pay off that housing loan. So that itself is based on careful planning and study. I really took a step to move out of the Philippines, find a job outside the country, and thankfully that landed me Dubai, where I was hired with Emirates Airlines. So that careful planning itself of paying off the loan helped me um, pay off that housing loan in 1 or 2 years after moving here. And also careful planning and study of how am I gonna spend my income helped me also to invest in a few more properties. So I was able to buy some properties because sometimes, people just needed the money and they're really selling it at a good price. So with careful planning, with the help of my family in the Philippines, they do inspect some properties, and when they find that it's really a good buy, then based on that planning and study, when then I finance those properties for us. And I think it's not only about real estate, but in everything that you do, before you invest your money in anything, you need to have a careful planning and study. Is this the right property for you? Is it the right seller also? Because sometimes you're talking to a person, but it's not the right person to deal with. So you really need to make sure that you don't waste the money by putting a lot of time planning your finances, planning where to buy, planning and studying the right people that you need to go and deal with. Because some of my friends, they had problems of, they invested the money already, but later they were not able to, that subdivision did not develop or that condominium did not push through. So you really need to make sure that careful planning and study that you're investing your money to the right people, to the right person, to the right company, to the right real estate property, because that is the only way you can really COVID proof your income. Because at the end of the day, not all properties, I know statistics said every property should increase its value at a certain point in time, right? But from my personal learning is that the the value of the property will increase, and it's purely also dependent on its location. So what is the potential of that location? So you have to study what is the probability or the chances of that real estate property increasing its value over a period of time. And I am now moving to step 4. I hope you are clear with whatever I'm saying. But if you do have questions, feel free to ask. But these are very important things that you need to do. Step 4, creative financing. How do you really invest in real estate? Initially, when I started to think of investing, it was really, housing is a big chunk of money that you really need. But there's something called creative financing, and allow me to share with you how I was able to do with that. So on our first property, that when we bought the home, I told you I took a loan from Pag-ibig, and I also took a loan from Intel. And that time, when I left the company in 2016, when I left the company in 2006, what happened is that I paid off part of the loan based on my last pay from the company. And also, I made a commitment to myself that within that year of moving out from the Philippines, I really paid off that loan. And I really saved a lot of money. It's creative financing. You need to make sure that you are really budgeting a portion of your money to put it into investments. Other things that I did, I remember my mom found a very good property for us to invest in. And that time, I took a loan in Dubai because here the loan rates are very good. So I took a loan to buy that property, and that property I was able to sell double the price because over I think it was over five years or more that I was able to hold that property. So after such time, the property value really increased from the original purchase price. So creative financing could be through savings. Your creative financing could also be through bank financing and bank loan. One of the other creative financing also that my husband and I have learned is about creative financing through banks. So whenever we got salary increases, one of the things that we made sure is that we protect that income for the future. So we look for properties that we could buy. And if you just go to foreclosed properties of the bank, and especially in your provinces, there would be a lot of foreclosed properties. You go and visit them, and assess what's the real value of that property, and you negotiate with the bank, because it's at the end of the day, whatever price they put and publish is not really the final price. It's really something that's negotiable. So one of the ways for you to do creative financing and invest in real estate is through buying foreclosed properties. So we're able to get a good deal in one of the properties, and one of the things we're one of our properties in the Philippines now is a foreclosed property from the bank. So we just refurbished and renovated the house, but it's really in its good condition, and we got it at a very good price. So what other creative financing you can do? One of the properties also I bought when I was single is from a relative. So that relative was just selling that farmland, and she said, I just don't need it, and I want you to own more property. And that time I don't want to loan any more money from the bank, and she was very nice to allow me to pay her in installment. So I just committed that, okay, I'm gonna pay you over a year in 4 installments, and we were able to do that. So there are 4 ways I did creative financing in real estate. One is through bank loan and pag-ibig, through savings, of course. That's second. Third is about buying foreclosed properties. Fourth is also if you do buy your property from a relative, it's easier, personally for me, it was easier for me to discuss the terms and conditions of the payment terms, because that's one of the way for you to own property also. And for me, one of the properties I sold is under creative financing, meaning I gave that buyer the opportunity to pay me on installment also over a period of time. So that is helping that person pay me in a very, I'll say, small amounts of money only. And that is also helping me fund my monthly budgeting requirements in the Philippines. So it always works both ways. If you really want to own a property, you have to go back to the first one. It's about clarity of your why. Because a lot of people would be willing to help you also. And creative financing, there are many ideas. I know Mavs will have many more ideas of how to finance your property. But these are the things that work for me. And how can your property really COVID proof your income, right? So for me, one of the things that we have is the apartment and the property I bought. So we receive money on a monthly basis through that apartment rental, and through that one of the properties I sold, which is on an installment basis also. So that is step 4. I hope you're clear with the step 4. I'm moving now to step 5. Again, if you do have questions, feel free to ask, but these are just some of the ways. Okay? Lastly, and I think the most important also, you need to calculate your income using the abundance formula. Well, when I started working, I have an amount of money which I didn't have before. And similarly, as you move through the ladder, your salary increases, right? And the tendency of every human is that when your salary is increasing, your expense is also increasing. So how can you use really the abundance formula? I want to use the 4 M's. Number 1, I want you to maximize your income potential. Because, some people are just comfortable to earn a certain portion of money. I could have stayed in the Philippines only in, I could have stayed in the Philippines only in 2006 because I already have a great job with Intel. But that time, I really want to maximize my income potential to pay off my loans. So you need to tap into your abundance formula. You have abundance energy to look for income opportunities that can help you really earn more so you can buy what you really want. Second, minimize your expenses. I remember I told you, right? As your income increases, your expense also increase. So what I'm always very conscious about also is about minimizing expenses. I know my mom and a lot of people call me kuripot, thrifty, right? But I personally believe that, if you can buy things at a cheap prices and at a good quality, then it's always a best buy. And that's always the best way also to COVID proof or to to really, to protect your income, you have to maximize your income and you have to minimize your expenses. And personally, for me, one of my income strategies that when I get promoted or when I increased my salary, I make sure that additional salary is something that I will not spend and I will invest it either in stocks or in properties. But mostly really we do invest in properties because at the end of the day, what my one of our whys, my husband and I have this big why to leave a legacy for, of course, our two children, to make sure that, in the future they will not end up like us, not owning any property, but this is the legacy we want to leave behind with them. Third, third M, it's about multiplying your income. So I've learned this the hard way for such a long time. I've been thinking of, okay, I want to earn income and I want to multiply it further. What does that mean? As they said, you have to keep on investing your money in several areas. They said different basket of eggs to protect it. So it could be, first, we were able to protect our income through real estate. So even during the COVID season, we are receiving monthly income from the rentals of our properties and also from the sale. How we're also able to get dividends from the stocks. So again, you think of what are the ways can you invest your money so it will multiply. And it doesn't have to be always a big amount of money. You can just save. You start with, maybe you don't have enough savings for now or extra income, but start with 10 pesos, 10 pesos, 10 pesos. Or because as soon as you accumulate that money and then you make it grow, maybe from that 10 pesos becomes 100 pesos. From the 100 pesos, you can start selling, let's say, ice candy or something you can make money of. You keep on being creative to multiply the income that you have, because really that is also the secret to abundance. And lastly, it's about magnifying your income. What do I say when say magnify? They say, I know there's a concept in the Bible of tithing, and a lot of people talk about tithing. I never believed in that before, and I never used that. But I remember one time, I was listening to a talk, and they were saying, "I just want to challenge you to try it because you will see how the Lord generously gives you back." So I hope you also do use the abundance formula to magnify the goodness of the money and put it into a certain purpose. Tithing is in a person-to-person basis, but it really worked for me. So just donate a portion of your income to a cause that you believe in or to a charity, because at the end of the day, it will help you grow your income more. They said, if the cup is full, so like if this cup is already full, you cannot receive it, right? And really magnifying and giving more is like emptying your cup. So emptying your cup totally so the Lord can bless you more. And that's the most important step, I think. It's about, using the abundance formula to your advantage, because really there's no scarcity of money. I believe it's only about the scarcity of people taking action, scarcity of people making that decision. And I hope those steps are clear with you in terms of how to COVID-proof your income through real estate. Clarity in your why. That's the first thing. Second is commitment to learn, because everything, to make sure that you're not putting your money in the wrong investment, you need to be committed to learn. Third, you need careful planning and study. Not because you have the money or there's an available property for sale, you just need to buy it. You always need to study and do a careful planning about it. Fourth is about creative financing. There are many ways for you if you really want to earn income through real estate, or if you want to own one. Try this creative financing. And of course, step 5, calculate your income using the abundance formula. I hope these 5 C's are useful to you. I just want to move to the next slide. I hope you learned something today, but just one question. I hope you're writing on your paper, on your cell phone. What one step will you do today to COVID-proof your income? Because I hope I've shared enough. And it's not about the big amount of money, but your intention to do something. So I hope you're writing it down. And before maps continue, how can I further help you and others if possible? I do one-on-one VIP coaching. I also do speaking on in terms of happiness and productivity. I do parenting talks also, but I now focus on stress management, happiness, and I do also have an online program, and I have an upcoming program in terms of the online webinars. It's going to be in August. It's called Purpose Driven Career. What am I meant to do? It's in partnership with Spendes Academy in Singapore. I know, when I started to think of what's really the purpose that's meant for me, I thought it was real estate in the beginning because I was really making, it was very interesting. It was exciting, but I felt, and really the purpose driven career for me is about talking and speaking and sharing and coaching. So I'm now ready to help those who are ready to build a purpose driven life. So I hope I can invite you to join me. This is going to be in August. It's going to be a 4-module course where I will talk about purpose driven career in terms of what you are meant to do. If real estate is for you, then go for it. But if you are not clear yet, then I would be more than happy to support you. Sis Mabs, I'm already finished. Are there any questions for me?
Wow, sobrang ganda, no? I love it. And so sis, no, I like it when you share that when you bought the property, you were driven to add more income, no, for you to pay the property. I think that's ano, can you share more about it? Kasi yung that mindset should really yung hindi ka manghihinayang doon sa ibabayad mo, because in the end, no, it will really pay you off. Now sabi mo you have your rental apartments, and somehow for sure it's really helping you now in adding income to the family. So yun, so we'd like to emphasize on that mindset to when you buy the property, you'll be creative then how you're going to pay off, no?
True.
Yeah.
Kasi a lot of people,
So
initially also, I fear of buying a property because it's a commitment, right? That you have to pay something monthly, right?
Yes.
But it's a mindset also. Come to think of it, if you are renting, that's okay. But that's money going out of, as if you're putting it on a trash can. Because you're paying the money and that property will never be yours at the end of the day. But if you if you want to buy a property, maybe it will cost you more on a monthly basis. But if you think on a long term, kasi sometimes then we think about the short term only. Ito lang kasi yung a lot of people, say, hindi ko kayang bumili because wala akong pera ngayon. But the truth is that with the small amount money that you have, you can do creative financing and find a lot of properties you can start with na bumili ka na agad. I know some properties you can buy without even a down payment, right? So if
Especially
you really
now.
especially now, a lot of people have a lot of things, a lot of offers are there that you can already buy a property without a down payment. So better yet, open your mind. Kasi the truth is that there are no limitations. The limitations that only exist are the ones you set in your mind. So when you want to really buy a property and you make that decision, the opportunities will definitely open for you. So for me, when I made that decision na, okay, I'm gonna buy a property for my mom and for the family. So I took the chance that I will have less income for the moment because I'm gonna pay off that loan every month. But also at the back of my mind, I was clear of I'm gonna make something happen to make sure that I can pay that off. Because really, we do have the same 24, I believe everybody have the same 24 hours a day. It's how you make use of that 24 hours a day to really help you earn more income. Like for example, maybe you don't have the income now to buy a property, but if you become, diba sis, if you become an agent of another property, you can earn commission. So maybe there are persons who are licensed to sell, but if you are one of the person who is an element or who help in selling that property, at least you get a piece of money, right? So that's one of the ways to do creative financing only. Sabi nga, one of the things I learned in real estate is this is the only business where you can sell with laway lang yung puhunan. So if you don't have money now, one of the ways to do creative financing is start earning money through what? Maybe real estate is for you. So you start learning how to sell to others, and then you find a real estate licensed agent to partner with. Kasi if you do find a client for that licensed real estate examiner, then definitely at the end of the day, you can earn more income. And then that income, you can always start that to buy the property that you want. So, it's about your mindset talaga of wanting it and making it happen. Kasi there's always available resource for everybody.
Yes, yes. I like it when you say na okay lang na konti lang yung income income ko ngayon. Pero I'm buying my house, I'm buying my own property. Ito we have question from Raymond.
Sige.
Ayan, regarding this So sabi niya,
Anong
hi
question?
Coach Wanda, regarding creative financing, kapag gagamitin mo ba yung bank loan, anong usual requirements na hinahanap nila and process nila para ma-qualify ka?
I think every bank, personally, I believe every bank have their own rules to follow. But of course, as a rule, ang requirement lang kasi ng bank is first, you have a source of income stream which is guaranteed. So you need to show them a proof that you have a salary every month and you do have an employment or a business. Kasi syempre, ang gusto lang naman ng bank magkaroon ng guarantee eh. But for us, kasi I did not take any loan in the Philippines. Here in Dubai, what normally happens is that when you take a loan from the bank, you just need to get a letter from your company to say that, parang it's like a guarantee letter that yung money mo, as soon as your money or your salary gets credited to the bank already have a hold of the monthly installment that you have. So here it's pretty straightforward because it's a controlled environment already. So just a letter from your company, and then they will just do a credit investigation about you, and right away they will give you the money. But in the Philippines, I know it's a bit, maybe Mavs will have more idea, but because I have no idea for the Philippines, but every bank have their own rules. I think for when we did kasi then when we bought the foreclosed property from a bank, we do have bank accounts with them also. And we just have to fill up a paper in terms of source of income. And that time we're already working in Dubai. So we're able to establish with the bank that, this foreclosed property we're buying, we do have a bank account with you. And we gave them some proof of income in terms of yung employment lang details namin dito abroad. But I am not sure though, specifically check with your bank because they will be the best persons to tell you. But generally, ang idea lang naman talaga ng bank is they want to make sure that you have a monthly source of income to make sure that that will be paid, right?
Very, very important. Even also here in the Philippines, very important that you have the ITR, no? If you're employed, no, and for business, you have at least 3 years tawag nito, statement of financial statement.
Income statement.
Okay. We have to remind ourselves of parang standard of yung 3 C's of credit, di ba? When it comes to getting a loan from the ano nga ba yun? Collateral, the character, and then the 3 C's of credit. Collateral, the character, and then oh my God, I forgot.
Maybe credit din.
Collateral is the property that you're going to buy, and then the character is yung i-CCI kanila, credit investigation.
Credit investigation. Okay.
Dapat lahat na yung mga credit cards mo, okay yung payment mo, and all the utilities. Yun, thesis of credit. Collateral, I forgot, oh my God, parang ako.
Ano sis na character, capital, and capacity? Bakit ganun yung nakita ko sa internet?
Oo.
So, ano yung last doon? Capacity to pay. Yung ba yun?
Capacity to pay. Capacity to pay, that will prove your, the proof of that is your internal ITR. So, your capacity to pay, your gross income, should 30% of your gross income, yun lang yung kukunin nila that your capacity to pay based on income. So dapat yung amortization that will be fitting to you should be not more than 30% of your gross income. So at least yun yung standard dito sa Pilipinas that we have, no? So
Yun pala.
yun nakikita mo, ano,
Sige. Tama.
collateral and then
Alright, kasi sis, di ba, in the Philippines, automatically, when you have a bank loan, your property is the collateral itself. Correct?
yes,
So,
oo.
the capacity lang, that's a new learning for me also, it should be 30% of, sabi mo, only 30% of your income. Yeah,
Of
that's
your gross income.
of your gross income.
They base it on gross income. Parang sinasabi ni bank na from your income, only 30% can be allowed to be paid in real estate amortization. Other 70% should be, of course, spent to others. So more than that, they will not approve you of higher amount. So that will base the loanable amount na tinatawag, kung magkano yung pwede mong ma-loan, di ba? So depends on your age, depends on your age, depends on your income. But overall, kung kahit malaki yung income mo, kahit malaki yung capacity to pay mo, but the property value, yung collateral mo, yung tatlo na yan, yung collateral mo is, for example, 1 million lang yung pwede mo, yung appraised value nila na pwede nilang i-get na loan. Kahit pa you can get a loan of 6 million, you say, di ba, sa pag-ibig, di ba? Pero binibili mo 1 million lang. Doon lang, yun lang yung pagbabasihan ni bank na pwede niya ipautang sa'yo. Laging naka-pay sa property.
Okay. The loanable amount is always maximum yung appraisal value ng property. And I think even the appraised value itself is not 100%, right? It could be 80% also.
Depende. Depende. For example, kapag it's lot, sometimes the bank will give you 60-70% lang of the appraised value. Pero kapag bahay yan, house and lot yan, or townhouse yan, may improvements, they give as much as 80-90% of the appraised value of the property. Pag-ibig, sometimes, or most of the times, pag-ibig fund, they give you 90% of the appraised value. So, mas mataas sila kasi they really wanted everyone to have bahay, di ba? So, mas mahigpit ng konti si bank. So, sometimes, bank will just give you 80% of the appraised value. So, yun. So, dito, ganun sa Pilipinas. So, kaya important din na may employment ka na nagbibigay sa'yo ng recurring income, active income, because you're going to use it na katulad ng ginawa mo para makabili ka ng property. Yun. Kaya hindi ka basta-basta. Naalala ko lang, yung husband ko, it took him 7 years before he really get out of the employment naman. Kasi sabi ko, wag muna siya magre-resign because we need the ITR. No? Importante yan dito. Para makakuha ng loan sa bank. So yan, that's another tip for employees yan.
Okay. So make sure. Siguro rin ako personally, nung hindi pa ako nagdo-Dubai, I save a portion of my money Kasi makikita rin naman ng bank yun, di ba? If you do have, maybe your gross income is not enough, pero if you have a big down payment also, that can help them as well. Right?
Yes, pwede. Mas maganda. No? Or you can get a co-borrower, your spouse mo, or immediate family. Ang question ko, Sis Wanda, ang ganda kasi, say for example, in Dubai, yung iba kasi, diyan nagkukuha ng loan. I have clients kasi before, they bought property from me. They get a loan from, I think, Saudi or diyan sa area. Kasi mura yung interest. If rather by getting a loan from here in the Philippines. So what can you say about that?
Actually, that's one of the
here in the Philippines pala.
Yeah, that's one of the creative financing ideas that we did. So we took a loan here and then we buy properties in the Philippines. So kasi nga it's a lower interest So
like how much yung interest na?
Right now hindi ko alam, pero that time kasi long time ago, parang 4 to 6% lang yung interest.
Oo.
Where
Sobrang
that was
baba
along
na nun kung
mababa.
4 to 6%
Oo, parang
interest.
parang laging at least may 5% higher yung diyaan sa Philippines. Kaya we
Oo.
really,
Mm.
what we do, we
Kaya
take
ano,
a loan
kaya
here.
it's a benefit for the employee, 'di ba, na they will be able to get a loan at a lower cost.
True, true. So that's creative financing. Tsaka at the end of the day din, you can save that money, 'di ba? So forced na hindi mo gastusin, di ka bumili na
Correct,
kung
correct.
ano-ano lang. So naka-save na siya, mag-loan ka tapos naka-lock na 'yon. Then you get to use that money to buy property.
Correct, correct. Yun. So yun, I think
May questions
you
ka
have
ba?
oo. Wala so far, but again no, I think we're okay, and thank you so
Ayan.
much for sharing with us your 5 tips. So ulitin-ulit natin yung 5 tips. I think it's here. Ayan. Ayan.
From
Eto.
Raymond. Welcome, Raymond. Ayan,
Ayan.
naka-type na.
Ayan. So, okay. So, clarity with your why, commitment to learn, careful planning, study creative financing, calculate income using abundance formula. So, yan ang ating tips from ating Coach Wanda. So, you will be having your course this coming August?
Yes, finally. So I would like to invite you, if you want to find a purpose-driven career and living for you, join me on my course in August. That's going to be a 4-module course. Weekly, I'm going to walk you through what are the final and the good steps that you can do so you can have a purpose-driven career and living, something that is really
Ang
meant
ganda
for
niyan.
you.
Ganda niyang purpose-driven career.
O
Sobrang
kasi for me, it
ganda.
was very difficult.
Diba?
Alam mo naman sis, diba, kung ano-anong ginagawa ko before. But then, I realized there is really a purpose that's only meant for you. Because you are
Ang galing
unique.
naman.
So, I
What
hope,
am I meant to do?
yes. So, I
Oo.
would love to help you if you want to, if you're ready to build a
Ang ganda niyan.
purpose-driven career.
So, walang contact details yung mo sis?
Ay, sorry. Siguro yung next slide na lang. Ay, sorry, in my slide. Just connect with me on LinkedIn, Wandalyn Calupig. Of course, if you want the happiness guide, just email me. But connect with me on LinkedIn, Wandalyn Calupig, and I will share more details later because they're still keeping that course ready. But definitely, that will be available in August.
Ayan. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we have to close in prayer. So sis, you want us to lead in yung mga speaker. Yeah, let's just close in prayer before we finally say close this session.
Okay. So, name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Lord, we would like to thank you for another wonderful day. I hope that you continue to bless, inspire, and guide the work of our hands. You know, we believe that you have great plans for every life, for every person watching this. I pray that you guide, inspire us every day, and lead us to fulfill the calling you want in our lives. We are here for you, and we continue to pray for guidance and protection for ourselves, for our families, our loved ones, and especially the world. Be the Lord and the guide in all of our lives, and we surrender our all to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you once again. Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you. And
I hope may natutunan sila. And thank you, Raymond, for that question.
yes. Thanks
Thank you,
again.
Mavs. Salamat.
Thank you everyone, and thank you for watching my Real Estate Agent online channel, where life, real estate, and economics made simple. So, hope to see you again next Thursday, 4 p.m. We will be having a great podcast. And also, last night we had a very wonderful session with Attorney Paul, reducing the use of reducing the legal use of financial property. If you want to have a copy of our session last evening, you can just send us an email or message us through info at myrealestatemate.com, or just post your comments here. It's a beautiful session, and you're going to learn a lot more on buying and selling property. We discuss actual real estate deal in buying and selling, and also we discuss, Attorney Paul discuss on deeper in his topic about not to be scam in real estate, and he discussed deeper on the more specific details on how what are the things that you need to check on before buying a property or in dealing real estate transaction. So yon, so just contact us, and again, see you next Thursday, and please do like and subscribe our channel, My Real Estate Maven Online. God bless you all. And of course, to be, ayan, I forgot, no? Thank you. Let me end this show by saying that together as a family, we can make things happen. God bless you all. Bye-bye.